dude, take that thing off. Hello? Yo. The stream has no audio of you, by the way. Alright, good. Alright. Hopefully, let me see. Alright, thank you, Bliss. You're the goat.
Testing, testing. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. The mic was just picking up the wrong device there. And hopefully the sound isn't maxing out in your ears either. Should be good. There we go. There we go. Hello, everyone. We're here. We're finally back. Let's go. I do need to get this sorted out as we just hop into the gameplay scene. It is a No Mod 4 pick for Michigan to start things off. This is one of their better standout scores from what I remember in quals. Yeah, one of their better scores despite what appears to be a shortage of tech players on paper, excuse me. You know, both on the sticks and mini, not really tech players. Same thing with Froggy and then Anime Flareon, typically not, usually not the biggest tech player either. And that No Mod 4 score, that No Mod 4 map, Pennsylvania, was quite difficult back in quals, and I will have to fill out the bans in the meantime, as it was Michigan banning first. Is Michigan red? Michigan is red. Okay. Usually it's the higher seed that's the red team, but I guess that's different here. So we will see the easy 1 ban. And yes, I will get to talking about these bans shortly. Blue team banning No Mod 2 and Hard Up 1. And then red team banning Hard Rock 2. And then blue team picking DT3. And then a No Mod 4 pick for Michigan. So yeah, Michigan perhaps surprisingly good for... I do need to give Pennsylvania an extra star for that one that they won earlier. And we are into things. The Burnt Waffle, Asphyxia. A little bit surprised that they're not picking right into the precision, as Asphyxia, a really big precision specialist. I have no doubt he can set quite a nice AC FC on that pick, but perhaps we'll see it later. Of course, don't really want to pick precision as the first map, but regardless, he is in for this No Mod 4 pick of Michigan, as it is their pick. And we are going to see on the sticks Anime Flareon and V-Tiger. A little bit surprised to see these players again. No John. I mean, V-Tiger actually did do quite well on the tech maps in the tryouts, and is showing some decent accuracy for it. 93%, of course, quite decent for what you're looking at here at the bottom of minor league in these lower seeds. But you look at the other side of the aisle. I mean, all the combos going down right before the break, but Yazioro holding on to 99 accuracy for so long, and that's 405,000 individual score, almost single-handedly making up this entire score difference for himself. Actually is single... No, not quite making up the score difference, but on his own. But yeah, it's just V-Tiger to hold as you go into this ending section. The slider stream gonna be catching out on the sticks, but everyone else is breaking around him. It's a full team wipe for Pennsylvania into the ending, and this is a bit of an opening for V-Tiger and Amy Flareon, but not not if he breaks there. And unfortunately, first pick from Michigan, the No Mod 4, not quite gonna be working out for them, as Amy Flareon will be dropping her combo in the ending as well. And that is break point for Pennsylvania. As, I mean, Yaziora looking a little bit like he's a bit of a head and shoulders above the rest of this lobby. And he did also previously play in 2024 and 2025. That is some information that I did not have. So tournament veterancy, of course, lending to some more proficiency in these more niche skill sets, although there's no on for not super niche, still pretty straightforward mechanics. Mech tech, mechanics oriented tech is music. Just loves to do that today. My goodness. Going back to the map pool scene. Unfortunately, we don't have the live chat feed. I'm not sure what is exactly causing that. I was ad refed, so I'm not sure why that's happening. I'll have to get some help on that later. But we'll have to see what next pick is for Pennsylvania. The DT3 was quite close, but looking at the roster, they do probably just favor anything that's not straightforward aim. And actually, as I was mentioning earlier, Asphyxia going to be looking to be a bit of a star, put his cards on the table with this hyper precision pick. This man is so... I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the pronouns here, and it is she, it. Asphyxia. I think that's the first time I've seen the it pronoun be used, actually. But anyway, it having so many just absolutely insane precision scores on leaderboards. I've seen some crazy things in some bot channels, some score post channels from it. Of course, apologies for any time I have messed up before. I think I was mostly muted when I was talking about Asphyxia, like at the start of that Nomad 4. So yeah, I'm going to be looking towards it for some nice success on this one. Of course, accompanying it is going to be Yazioro and the Burnt Waffle. The Burnt Waffle, mouse player. Mouse players are quite good at precision, usually, is from what I've noticed. And Yazioro, pretty good at some gimmicky stuff, of course, the ult and the tech, as we just saw earlier. And also able to play a bit of hidden, so probably some Nomad gimmick stuff also close enough in their wheelhouse. Going to need a little bit of panic to get everyone into the correct map. On the other side, I mean, I don't think this is a terrible pick from Michigan either, you know. It is a little bit gimmicky, but at the end of the day, it is just another aim map. We will see Mini coming in for the mini-sized circles map, accompanied by On the Sticks. A bit more of a tournament veterancy on them, so likely used to the amount of high precision maps that we see in 5-digit United States Cup, and rounding them out is going to be John. It's going to be tough to find a roster, and actually Asphyxia not quite finding the early success in the map that it would have liked. And the score lead is actually in favor of Michigan at the moment, albeit ever so slightly. Just looking at the accuracies, that's mostly going to be coming from Mini, up at 95%. Meanwhile, his teammates down in the 80s. Waffle also hanging around 90 flat, as well as Asphyxia. Just Yazioro up at a 92. So that is where most of this score lead is coming from. Is also Mini actually living up to their name a little bit, putting together a little bit of a combo here. Perhaps a mini-sized combo, if you want. Yazioro, what is that miss? On the back and forth reverse slider. I think he just barely mis-aimed the slider head there. You don't want to miss on the slow section. There's a team wipe from Pennsylvania, and this is quickly going from bad to worse for the New Englanders. As Mini and On the Sticks holding on quite nicely into the ending, not getting caught out by the big jumps either, and going to be closing that one out nicely. Yeah, maybe you don't want to be picking the mini-sized circles into the man named Mini. As a break point from Michigan finally putting themselves on the board. Unfortunately for us, a lot of these players are quite new to the tournament scene, so we don't have the most data on them. What we can tell is, well, there's the obvious stereotype of being newer to tournaments and probably not being as well versed on the gimmicks, more mechanic slanted, aim slanted, you know, your Nomad 1s and Nomad 2s of the world. Although this Nomad 1 is quite tricky. I suppose the Nomad 1 of this pool would be the Hard Rock 1, which was banned out by Pennsylvania, probably smartly so, as well as the Nomad 2 when you have John Nomad 2 and V-Tiger Nomad 2 on the other side. Just banning out some maps that the opposing team might be a bit more comfortable on. And interestingly enough, it's going to be a DT2 pick for Michigan. Pennsylvania narrowly winning out on the DT3, and maybe Michigan saying, hey, we want to challenge you guys again on this. But interestingly enough, not going for any one of their main skill sets like the DT1, like the Hidden one, like the Nomad one, the simpler A maps of the pool. Not even the Hidden 3, which is on the easier side of maps in this pool, but you are getting into this map here. It does look like we have the players in the lobby. It's going to be Yuzoro again. This man has been quite high performing so far, so no surprise to see him in again, and going to be backed up by Mesarua. He's pretty good at DT from what I hear, and of course, the Burnt Waffle, another one of their DT mains, in for everything so far, and I believe their captain. On the other side, you see John, Froggy, and Anime Flareon. Of course, John tapping, and Froggy. I mean, they did play the other tapping map earlier, so we'll see how they do here. They are looking quite decent. Once again, pulling off a nice combo game, and perhaps the lower BPM allowing them to act this one a little bit better. 95% accuracy at the moment. But John, however, the other side, struggling a little bit. But perhaps fortunately for Michigan, so is literally everyone else in lobby, and that just leaves Froggy and Yuzoro in the 1v1. Froggy going to be matching Yuzoro's act this time, and so the score lead just balancing on a knife's edge for now as we calmly approach the 1/3. The 1/3 is going to catch out Yuzoro, though. The slider break right at the end of it, and that is going to send the lead in the favor of Michigan. See, as long as Froggy can hold on, John going to be dropping his combo, and there goes Froggy as well. A big chain miss on the burst, a big miss aim, and Burnt Waffle and Mason are still holding on to the FC as the score lead is going over back towards them. But Amy Flareon holding on, open, as she misses right at the end, and the score is going to flip. And at the end, as the dust settles, it's Mesa Rua and the Burnt Waffle who held on to their recoveries into the ending, and Michigan could not. They let go of the pedal too early, and Mesa Rua and the Burnt Waffle will take it across the line for their team. Pennsylvania with another break point, and perhaps a bit of a Michigan mispick going into the DT tapping. After losing on it themselves earlier. Okay, just 1 second. Let me see if we have chat. And yes, there we go. It's fixed. Thank you very much to Blue Crystal for helping me fix it. We are looking good. And finally, we have the chat feed. Things are looking good for us. Our stream is finally up and running. We've done it, guys. We've done it. Everything looking beautiful. So this next pick from Pennsylvania, of course, it is their turn. It is still quite difficult to decide what they want to pick, but I do think they want to pick around a couple of their more tenured players and the players who have been performing better in this match. So probably around the Burnt Waffle and Izioro, and maybe Mesarua as well, as they do go into the DT4, some high AR slider tech and reading, actually. So this map is quite difficult. A little bit surprised to see it picked by these teams. But, yeah, typically the harder maps are picked more by the major league teams, of course, and then we leave easier stuff picked by the minor leagues. Just simply not having the skill cap and skill set depth, breadth to pick stuff like the DT4, but it's gonna be turned on its head as we are seeing the DT4 pick some AR 10.1 sliders and aim control, alt aim control. Actually, I wouldn't even call it alt aim control. It's just snap aim at this point. Some wide angle jumps and 1/4 snaps onto slider heads. We do have the players in the lobby, of course, the Burnt Waffle and Mesarua, the two DT mains. For the side of Pennsylvania, going to be accompanied by Asphyxia. Once again, pretty good at alt. Also, apparently pretty good at high BPM speed and hard rock, so probably this kind of high AR stuff also decently within their wheelhouse. And their alt proficiency going to be playing into this one as well. On the other side, we do see John, V-Tiger, and on the sticks, finally in the lobby, the expected 3-man core that I have been looking forward to seeing this entire time. It's going to be John to find the first early miss traded out by Mesarua, but of course this map doesn't really kick off until a bit later on. As we do see some shades of it, as already a couple 1/4 snaps. But here comes a little bit of a reading pattern into the wide angles. That's going to catch out a lot of combos on the side of Michigan. Both John and on the six going down is just V-Tiger to hold into this first KI section. The sliders and the snaps going to be catching out. It's going to be quite difficult to tell which direction those sliders are spinning, but I think you can just cheese them by holding in the center. But of course, with the DT mod in the high AR, you sort of are compelled by your instinct to try and follow that slider. V-Tiger going to be following it quite nicely, but not into the ending of the first KI, and it's just Asphyxia and Mesarua to hold on as they're building up quite a nice lead for their team. 250,000 is the name of the game, as Mesarua going to be dropping, but Asphyxia still holding on into the second KI here. Looking quite comfortable. Their proficiency, its proficiency on the alt maps. Really shining through on some of the snap aim patterns here. It will finally go down, drop in combo, but the Burnt Waffle is there to stave off the opposing recovery on all the sticks. And as I say that, however, the Burnt Waffle missing on the last note right before the break, but I think at this point, with just a quarter of the map remaining and not a lot of combo on the side of Michigan, big linear stream going to be catching out on the sticks as well, and that is this map in the bag. Put the fries in the bag. We are heading home after this one is all wrapped up. Score lead continuing to climb all the way to 300k due to some accuracy gains. John all the way down at 85% and looking to not really be a big fan of the high AR, so we'll have to see what exactly they do about something like a potential DT1 pick later and what aim picks they can try and aim for. 130k, not a score you want to see in lobby, and that's for sure. And we're talking about accuracies, and Mesarua is supposed to be a DT main, also down at 87.5. So maybe if the map does get a bit more simpler on the mechanics, we could see the comfort go back towards the way of John in that 1v1 on the DTs. But we'll have to wait and see, as Pennsylvania taking another one of their points to go up 4-1. But going back to Michigan, they have yet to pick something that is raw aim, like the hidden one, like the no mod one, like maybe even the hidden 3. And of course with the Hard Rock 2 banned out, missing the other precision map in the pool. The only map that they have found success on at the moment, by the way. I'm going to be going for the Flex 1. And I guess this is a bit of an aim map. Of course, the anti-mod, some Air 8 CS5, your pick of Air 8 hidden, or CS 6.5 Air 10. But other than that, the mapping itself, quite simple. Gonna be some old style mapping, so for the most part, not a lot of overlaps anywhere really, and some nice symmetrical quasi-grid mapping. We do see John and B Tiger in for this. Once again, it is a question of who will take the hidden for them, as I would expect someone like Mini to come in for this, given they do have a little bit of comfort on the hidden. It is... And actually, we do see Mini stepping into the lobby. No more John and B Tiger as well. We do see Froggy in. Of course, this BPM 170 going to be some very comfortable jump aim, and of course that does allow Anime Flareon to do some things as well. Put in some work, transferring the aim and hard rock comfort and combining them into hopefully a good score for them. On the other side, we do have Yazioro once again continuing to put up some really good performances. I do believe they had some really good stuff showing for themselves last week as well. Good showing for himself. As we do have GLHFs in the chat. Going to be getting into this map right here. Accompanied by the Burnt Waffle. Probably going to be on the Hard Rock as well. But no, that's going to be the easy. Interestingly enough, the Burnt Waffle, decent at easy and going to be busting it out here. It's a bit of a... It is a 1.5x multiplier. So, he is score capped at 750,000. But, hey, if you just can't FC or set a really good story with hidden or hard rock, then, hey, why not take the easy if you just want super easy circles to aim and you just lock in on the reading a little bit, do a little bit of practice, and hopefully you're fine, although already finding a slider break in this first Ki. I suppose, fortunately for him, however, the other side, Mini and Froggy both finding a lot of misses already. Interestingly enough, Froggy on the hidden hard rock preference, as he will be accompanied by Anime Flareon as on the hard rock as expected, and Asphyxia, it's going to be some CS 6.5 precision gaming for it. And Yazioro also on a hidden hard rock. I wonder if they did that to match Froggy, as it looks like they were having a little bit of fun in the lobby chat earlier, discussing fun maps to pick. So we could see them agreeing on some fun mod combinations to play. But it is a lot of misses from Mini and Froggy. in the early parts of this map. Going to be giving the lead over to Pennsylvania for the moment. Into the second TI to Burnt Waffle. A little bit of a misread on the linear aim there, and continuing to see some more misreads. So unfortunately for them, the easy not quite working out with a high score as they would have liked. But they do have Yuzuru holding on with a very nice Hidden Hardrock FC, continuing some incredible performances down here in the minor leagues. As Anime Flareon has also dropped her recovery, Mini going to be dropping his as well. And yeah, this has already gone so far out of the hands of Michigan. Jizioro still holding on with a 1v3 into the ending of this map. 778,000 score as opposed to the team score of 640,000. And yeah, a bit of an unfortunate pick here as Mini not quite comfortable on the AR8 aim, as neither was Froggy on the CS6.5. Anime Flareon putting up a quite good score for herself, 400,000, but unfortunately does not have the team support, especially when you're walking into this Yuzuru Hidden Hardrock FC. And my goodness, what a performance from Seed 19 of Minor League. And they just casually doubled the score of Pennsylvania, or of Michigan. Yeah, DeBurnt Waffle's score going to be rounding out to around 225,000 after the 1.5x easy multiplier, but of course, Yuzuru on the Hidden Hardrock FC. And also, Asphyxia, no misses and only 2x 50s, looking like a couple slider breaks for it. Yeah, Yuzuru putting in a lot of work, continuing to shine, and I think we are seeing the growth, the birth of potentially a new star, the next generation of players for Pennsylvania, as they do bring themselves to match point off the backs of and another amazing performance from him. It's going to be Hidden 3, the pick that they look to close this match out on. It is some alts, and I do think this is gonna be another Yuzuru show. Very good at alts as well as the tech, but also very good at hidden. And you're just combining two skill sets that he's good at. And that, along with the lower skill cap of this map, it is on the easier side of this pool. Some might even say the easiest after that Flex 1. We could just see another FC from him. Accompanying him, we do see Mesa Rua in the lobby. A little bit weaker on the tech and reading, so not sure if we'll see them stay. But maybe the aimy, snap aim elements of this map working in their favor. And also, Asphyxia, pretty good at alts, apparently. Not necessarily a hidden gamer, but they do have the alt under... It does have the alt under its belt, so maybe some of that. And then on the other side, we are back to what we expected to be the three-man core for Michigan. John, V-Tiger, and Styx. Just some aimers. But on the Styx, struggling a little bit on tech and alt, so a little bit worried to see them in here. Of course, the hidden is always going to be a tough mod for this Michigan C team. Just the depth of their talent pool not quite extending far enough into the gimmicks. And we are already seeing that with a early break from V-Tiger. Now, maybe this map is aimy enough, as we do see John looking quite comfortable with 99.5 act to start things off, as his team will struggle a little bit more to follow him up. Misa, the only early miss on the side of Pennsylvania, as Asphyxia and Yuzuru are going to be looking quite comfortable. John, fortunately finding a miss, and with these two FCs from Yuzuru and Asphyxia still holding on, as well as the reverse choke from Mesarua, we could be seeing a quick end to this match. With the first Ki yet to happen on the sticks. Building a nice recovery, as is V-Tiger, but they need to see breaks early on from Pennsylvania, and John continuing to struggle to hold combo after what was a very nice start. Yuzuru gonna find a miss right at the end of the Ki, but Asphyxia still holding on to the FC, as is Mesura with the reverse choke, and that's not enough misses as the score lead has already approached 350,000. V-Tiger going down, not going to be helping matters at all. On the sticks, still on the recovery, and there goes Mesarua as well, so another step towards a comeback, but we are slowly reaching terminal velocity for this score advantage. An uncomebackable gap, as we are already halfway through the map. Asphyxia still holding on to the FC. On their sticks, on their coattails. And Mesarua continuing to find a little bit more struggles in the middle parts of this map. John finally getting together a little bit of a recovery, and this is still playable for Michigan, but only barely, especially with John and V-Tiger both missing right at the end of the Ki. That is not looking good. On the sticks, putting up as much resistance as they can. But Asphyxia on this FC, looking to just shut them out, as the score lead has almost reached terminal velocity at this point, if they don't miss immediately out of this Ki. But hold on, they do! And there goes Mesarua as well. If Yuzorio doesn't hold, then maybe there's a chance, but there's just not enough combos on the side of Michigan. It's just on the sticks on this FC. Or, sorry, not an FC, or a recovery even, and he goes down, and with that, so do the hopes of Michigan in this lower bracket, and their hopes of anything but a bottom placing in this year of the 5 United States Cup. You know, coming in after a DNQ last year, finally managing to squeeze in at seed 30, but this Pennsylvania B team looking quite good for themselves with this rising star of Yuzuru putting in so much work throughout this entire match. And also having the supporting cast show up where it counts. DeBurnt Waffle, Asphyxia, Mesarua, all putting in their fair share of that victory. Unfortunately, not able to see their two other players today, Encrypt and Wodude Hardmap. But, of course, when we do see them, we only expect to see the Pennsylvania team power up as this tournament goes on. Just going to be fact-checking myself on that Nomad 5, as yeah, it was Yuzuru, DeBurnt Waffle, and Asphyxia. No Encrypt, who's supposed to be pretty good at precision, but not seeing them in there for the Nomad 5. And unfortunately, that is the end of the line for Michigan, as Pennsylvania will move on in the lower bracket. Of course, congratulations to the 4 players who played the match today. Encrypt and Wooded Hardmap, of course, unfortunately not able to show up. But we will see them next time, hopefully. And we will see you guys next time, hopefully, as well, later today. We do have more action, 5USC action coming up at 22 UTC. Of course, that big block of 5 streams, 5 matches happening at the same time. Louisiana A versus SoCal A, New York A versus Ohio A, Oregon B versus Colorado B, Indiana B versus New York B, and Florida B versus Kentucky B. After that, we have a short 30-minute break until 23:30. That's going to be Florida versus Kentucky. A teams. And then back at 1 UTC for another block of 4, continuing on into the night all the way to Monday 3 UTC, where we will round out the day of matches with some Major League action. New Jersey versus Illinois. Of course, if you're interested in the rest of the schedule, go ahead and check out the main sheet for any matches you want to see. But for now, that is going to be all from us. I've been blessed. Thank you so much for joining me in my first foray into streaming and casting at the same time. It's been a rough weekend for the staff here. Some shortages of hands, but we have somehow managed to come out the other side relatively unscathed. I think the VODs will be quite happy. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this experience. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.